Alright, so episode 2 of our Switch coverage. Like we mentioned in the last episode, that we are going to be talking about probably the big gimmick, quote-unquote gimmick of the Switch console is its portability. So if you haven't seen the Switch so far, haven't seen any videos on YouTube or any advertisements or stuff, I'm not sure why you're watching our video.
Yeah, I was thinking. Okay, that was his version of saying. Here's my version of saying. If you haven't watched the Switch, if you haven't seen the Switch yet, have you even been watching the news or anything at all?
Yeah, Nintendo's been advertising an awful lot, which is good. But I guess the big gimmick, because Nintendo's always going to have some kind of gimmick with their system. It just can't be a system. But the thought behind this is that there's a dock. There's the Switch sits in a dock. You can use that to connect to your TV. You can take it out of the dock. And then you can hold it in your hands, and it's a portable system. And then there's a kickstand for that piece that can sit on a table. So then you can have a semi-portable system. So it kind of changes form. So that's kind of the big thing, the portability. I think one of the things that has people excited is the fact, I guess, that the 3DS and the DS and the game, all the way back to the Game Boy, that Nintendo has done portability really well. That's always been one of their strengths. And their consoles have been lacking as of late, but they've never not been number one in the portable systems. Definitely. So is the fact that this is a hybrid system now, pulling in the strengths that they have with portability, does that mean the system will do better because of it, or will it do worse because they're trying to cross two different types of systems into one? But,
well, I was talking with one of my friends. So he said that the Switch is not meant to replace the 3DS, because the 3DS is a complete portable system you can fit in your pocket and you bring it around wherever you go. The thing is with the Switch, you're not supposed to bring it wherever you go. You don't want to give your kid the Switch, which probably costs $300, right?
Yeah.
$300.
Yeah. You
don't want to give your kid a Switch everywhere he goes, as you would with a 3DS, because
or the 2DS or something like that. Yeah. The Nintendo more portable systems are a little more rugged. We don't have the Switch yet, obviously, because it's not March 3rd as the time of recording, right? So some of the people who have seen it said that it's a lot more rugged than they think. But I think that's a very valid point, that the portability of this, I think, is aimed at adults and teenagers, not necessarily kids. Maybe if you have a child and you want to watch a TV and they put it on the couch, that kind of thing, kind of like the Wii U was supposed to be, where I can play on this while someone's using the TV. Rarely did we ever do that. But that's kind of...
Did we ever do that?
Times.
Yeah, down here we did. Upstairs.
Yeah. You guys would watch something I didn't like, I'd just take out the Wii U and start using it. Although once I got the Xbox, I played that on a different TV.
Well, what are your thoughts on it?
There's something I was going to say, but then Owen said something and I forgot it. That always happens every video. I have something that I'm gonna say. Owen says something, and
you keep thinking about it. I
forget.
You can say.
Yeah, you keep thinking about it.
Every episode.
I don't want to be someone who just sits here and says bad things about Nintendo, but if the portability might not work, it might. Okay, it might.
What are your concerns over it?
I think it probably is easier to break than the 3DS and would be harder to replace than the 3DS. I think that the fact that it can't fit in your pocket, like, a portable device does not need to be defined by fitting in your pocket, but seeing we have the 3DS, even though the 3DS is so old, if you're looking at the Switch to have it as a portable system over a console system, I wouldn't get it over a 3DS. And it just... 3DS is already such a good portable system. Why do we need a portable system like the Switch?
Okay.
Make a new 3DS.
I think the portability of the system is in a different way than the 3DS. So the 3DS is not that much cheaper, actually. They're very similar in price. Because
depends
right. I mean, there's cheap versions, but like the XL, the new XL, like it's $200. So, you know,
that's $100. It's different. That's a lot.
I know it's a lot, but it's not like we're talking about 500 and 100 or something. I mean, it's closer in price to one another than not. But I think what the purpose of the Switch, again, is for adults. So they can have it in a backpack, something like that. But the portability of it is the same thing like the Wii U pad, where you could bring it anywhere in the house because the Bluetooth could connect, you know, as long as you're within range and you could play it. You could do the same thing with the Switch. You know, we don't have to be over at the TV. We could be here playing the Switch. If we go on a trip, we can bring the Switch with us and play the Switch. You know, where bringing an Xbox One on a trip is not really reasonable. The size of this allows us to be able to do that. I don't think it's necessarily really like, okay, we have the 3DS and we're going somewhere and we're waiting, you know, 5 minutes or something. We're gonna pull the 3DS out and play it. I don't think that's really what it's looking at. But you know, you want to go over your friend's house, and I think that's a really important thing for Nintendo, which may work out well for them. Is that the Wii did really well because everybody saw the motion control and went nuts over it. So when you went over your friend's house, or you saw it in the store, and here's these Wii remotes, and then you walked away saying, man, I really want one of those. This one even takes it a step further because you can bring your Switch to your friend's house. So they don't have to visit you. You can now bring it there, and you can show it. And then, you know, this is good for Nintendo because people are advertising it by bringing it around with them. But I don't think the portability of it, again, it's not the same as the 3DS where you might have it in your pocket, you know, and playing it here and there, where the Switch, it's still portable. And you can bring it all these different places, but it's meant to be like more of a portable console rather than a truly portable system. Although people that are responsible could treat it the same.
Yeah, but an example you could use the portability with is we wouldn't do this, but say you have a relative or someone that you go to visit for, say, a week, okay? And they don't have a Switch. You unplug your Switch, get all the cables, assuming it's not in the big web of cables, because you can't really unplug them then. But you take your actual Switch dock with you, but you can't play your Switch because it's not plugged in. You take the pad, you play it, and then when you get there, plug in the dock, then you play on the TV.
Yeah, and they do sell a dock separately. Yeah. It's a lot.
Could buy it.
It costs a lot, but if you're somebody who's constantly going to be bringing this along different places, you know, I'd say you probably want to have two docks. You have one that's hooked up to your TV with the wires all in the back and all that stuff, and then you have a separate one that's in the bag that you bring around where you go.
So is the Switch the controller of the system, or the thing that plugs into the TV the system?
The processing of it is actually in the
Controller?
It's not really a controller. What it is it's almost like a screen, and the controllers slide onto the end of it. So the system itself is the screen.
It's like this. You got the screen on the 3DS, so I have it on Smash Bros, but...
Wait, let me see how this...
Okay, so you got the screen on the 3DS, and then you got the bottom screen. This top part does not have any processing in it or anything other than this screen. And then the camera. But other than the screen.
Yeah, all the processing down the bottom piece.
This down here, yeah, I have a lot of scratches on here. This down here, this is all the things. So imagine if this is the dock and then this is the Switch controller. It's like you have the controller, and then only if this part has this, it can work.
Yeah, the job of the dock is to take whatever the Switch is sending and get it up into the TV and into the speakers or
It's
whatever.
kind of hard to understand, but if you write it down on a piece of paper and try to figure it out, it's a lot easier. But
yeah, and I think Nintendo actually has a number of videos on their YouTube page that are all dedicated to the Switch, and if you watch those, you can see what we're talking about pretty clearly. So
can I have my thoughts finally?
yes.
Thank you. All right. First of all, about the portability advertising. I feel like if it's something like a Nintendo system, I don't think that's how it works. Like, maybe for, like, 1 in every 250 people might be thinking about getting it, I don't know. And it might, like, there might be the little possibility that they say, yeah, I'm going to get it because my friend brought it over and, man, that's cool. I'm going to get that system. But I don't think that, like, a thing with that's as big as Nintendo, I think that everybody's going to know about it, and they're either going to be like, I'm going to get that or I'm not going to get that. And a friend bringing it over is not going to really change the decision that much. It could, but in most positions, probably.
Well, thing is, this is Lego, okay? So this has nothing to do with Nintendo. Do you remember the Ninjago? You remember that Ninjago truck, like the big red truck that I think it was DBX?
That's different.
I got that set just for completionists, okay? So I could say I got all the sets because it fit in with everything else. I didn't think it was going to be great. I got it. I could like actually have hands-on with it, and it was great. I didn't think it was going to be great. I think the Switch is going to be like that, where you think it's like, oh, this is going to be garbage, and then you get the Switch and you have it in your hands, and you're like, wow, this is actually good. Or it could go the other way. Like you see the Switch and you're like, this is really good. You get it and you're like, I'm going to break this in 2 seconds.
Well, I think that's why I'm talking about the advertising though, because there's an awful lot of people who
are unsure.
They're unsure or they're disenfranchised by Nintendo's decisions in the past. So they might they bought the Wii U because Nintendo has a new system. They said, I'm never buying another Nintendo system again. So the Switch is advertised and they say, no, I'm never buying it. Where now they have the chance to be able to see the Switch because their friend's bringing it over. I'm not saying that can replace advertising, but if you see people, we have thoughts. Is the Switch going to be too delicate? Right? We don't know. We don't know because we're physically not holding one. But if we saw somebody with one, oh, wait a minute, that's better than what I thought. And that may drive some people to think about getting one. It's completely sold out everywhere. But any system that comes out is going to be completely sold out. So the question really is this thing going to have legs? Is it going to continue to sell? And is Nintendo going to turn this around? Which is some of the stuff we want to kind of wrap the whole series up with that. And I think a lot of the other topics that we have are kind of going to touch on that. But I like the portability nature of it. When we go on vacation, I bring an Apple TV with us.
Yeah, you do.
We upgraded to the new Apple TV, the one with the touch control and stuff. So we had an old Apple TV, and we bring it with us on vacation. So if it's raining or someone's not feeling well or something, and we're at the hotel, and there's not much that we can do because we're kind of stuck there or whatever, or it's late at night and we're trying to wind down, we can watch TV, but we don't have to flip through the channels of I wonder what's on, because we did that for a number of years, and there's not always something on, but we can watch what we would watch at home because we have that. So I would never bring a video game system with us on vacation, but I might bring the Switch. I gotta see the size of it, but I might bring that.
Well, there is a solution to the whole, like, is it gonna break thing? Give it a really good case. Because the thing with the 3DS is, you bend it, it can't be that thick because then it won't bend correctly. But the thing with the Switch is, the OtterBox on my phone? How it's really thick? I actually dropped it down the stairs once. It didn't even get a crack or at all. It survived that, and it didn't get cracked at all. It didn't even have a scratch.
Yeah, I think
with
our case, obviously we're getting one. We love video games, and we obviously are going to get a Switch, and we'll see how good is it, how is it not. But to that same point, if you see people are going to be able to know it because they're going to see other people with them. You know, you're going to see people on the train or on the plane or in the bus or something with one, and you know.
Okay, Nintendo, thick case made of metal or something, or maybe not metal, but something really thick, like plastic, like a really thick plastic, surrounded by rubber. You do that, that's a good case.
Well, who even knows? OtterBox may make one.
True.
I mean, they make it for like iPads and phones and things. So I'm sure there are going to be third-party companies that are going to make some sort of case for this thing that's more durable than the stuff that's been announced so far.
Yeah, the only problem is it has to be easy to take off so you can fit in the dock.
Right.
So, because if it's easy to, you got to make it where it's easy to take off, but not too easy. Because if it's too easy to take off, it's gonna come off if you hit it on something. I want a case where I can take it and go like, and it's good. But that's kind of unrealistic. But
so.
I think to wrap this up, I think one of the things that we should quickly mention is the battery isn't like 5.5, 6.5 hours.
no, that's 3DS. It's 3.
Oh, 23.
It's around 5 to 6 hours. However, if you're playing something like Zelda, it's 2.5 to 3. So realistically, it's 2.5 to 3, because you're not going to be doing that other stuff. I know some people have a problem with that, but
all you gotta do is get one of those phone Pokemon Go Charmander thingies.
Yeah.
We can get a picture of one of mine later if this guy wants to. But basically, you just plug it in after charging it here, and you'll have another battery. Yeah. Just bring yourself 20 of those if you're going somewhere for a really long time.
And the charging for the Nintendo Switch is the same plug as like an Android phone. So it's a very, very common plug. If you grab your Android phone charger, it will work on the Switch. So, you know, you can charge it relatively easy, and using one of those battery rechargers that people use for phones or for tablets or whatever, that would work on the Switch as well. So
and car chargers.
Yeah, and you're gonna have to carry this thing in a bag anyways because it's too big for your pocket. So, you know, you could easily throw 1 or 2 batteries in there and recharge it if you need to. So even though the battery's not all that great, you know, there's options out there.
There's solutions. So, I think the thing that's remaining about the Switch now is one of the things that we gotta talk about is the games, like we said, and that will be next video. So if you could,
I think before the games, we want to talk about the controllers first.
Wait, that was this one.
No, we haven't hit the controllers yet.
We haven't hit the controllers yet.
Yeah. So it might not be as long, who knows, but the next topic will be the controllers because we want to stay on the hardware. Then we'll go to the software. So remember to comment, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. And then we'll see you in the next episode. Twitter.
Twitter.
See ya.
Hashtag.